So I'm not gonna lie, man. I had a good time at the wedding, man. I'm sitting there like, okay, I'm glad I came. I'm enjoying myself. Then I get the reception. I'm enjoying myself at the reception. I'm like, I'm having a really good time at this wedding. And then my night turned left, and it was my own fault. This is where I messed up, right? I see two of my buddies talking in the corner, and I walked into a conversation I had no business walking into, right? This is what they were talking about. My one buddy has his own private jet. He flew down to Miami on his own private jet to go to the wedding. My other buddy leased a private jet. He was thinking about buying one. So the conversation was the pros and cons of owning your own private jet. And here I come, walking into the conversation. I was like, what's up, fellas? They go, oh, what's up, Gary? Hey, Gary, how'd you get down here? I was like, Delta? Delta? How'd you guys get down here? Well, I flew my jet down. And you know, he's thinking about buying one, so I was telling the good and bad thing about having a private jet, because he at least wanted to come down here. Fuck. Yeah, I had an extra row, so that was cool. I had an extra row, a little extra leg room, and they were selling turkey and cheese sandwiches on my plane, so I bought one. I wasn't gonna get one, but I was like, it's a wedding, fuck it, I'm gonna ball out a little bit. So, yeah, I bought a turkey and cheese sandwich on the way down. I actually bought two of them, because I gotta fly back tomorrow, so I just played it safe. I got one in my bag right now, so it came like $16. I get a flight attendant 20. I was like, keep it, I didn't want the change. Yeah, so, you know. They got spicy mustard now on Delta. Yeah, it's spicy mustard. I thought it was regular mustard, and I put it on my sandwich. I took a bite. I was like, man, this motherfucker got a little bite to it. So, yeah, I thought it was regular mustard, but Delta got spicy mustard now on their plane. They got spicy mustard. You know, you guys got spicy mustard on your jets? You guys got spicy mustard? Well, you ain't got no spicy mustard on your jets. Oh, well, can't have everything, can we, fellas?
Gary, thanks for coming back, man.
Thanks for having me. You guys moved.
We did move. That's right. Oh,
Nice.
that's right. Last time I saw you was at the old digs.
Yeah. I mean, that was nice, but this is really nice. This is good.
It's pretty cool, right?
This is nice, man. You guys moved up.
You could do stand-up here, really.
No.
I mean, not right now, but I mean, like we could fill this up.
I thought you were trying to get out of the free show.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. Gary, I got my associates. This is a special that you got on Showtime right now. You're going to be at Caroline's this weekend. You said doing 6 shows, right?
Yeah.
But talk to me, why I got my associates?
Well, I got the title from watching MSNBC Lock Up Raw. Because, you know, as a stand-up, we always come home late at night. And it seems like the only thing on late at night is First 48 and those lock-up prison shows. And
Those prison shows are so weird.
Because you don't realize, like, do they not know the camera's there? You know what I mean? Like, they're there. And every time I watch it, it seems like everybody going up for parole, their big thing is I got my associates. That's like, I haven't wasted my time in prison. Like, and that seems to be like, they keep driving that home. But you've been in prison for 35 years. And associates is a 2-year degree. You know what I mean?
Oh, an associate's degree.
An associate's degree. So I'm like, that's what made me think of the title for the show. And plus, where I grew up, a very rural part of Ohio, an associate's is like a double master's. In some parts of the country, we're like, whoa, Sinclair community? Wow, you finished that in 5 years? I know.
Took some time.
Right. That's where the title came from.
How do you get on? I mean, like you're joking about like where you're from and like the amount of time it took to get a degree. How do people generally respond to that type of, or those jokes if they're from that area as well? Do you find people laugh at themselves pretty well?
I mean, I hope. You gotta laugh at yourself. You know what I mean? They're so happy. Like, I will say, the area I grew up in is very supportive. They're just so happy somebody like got out and is on TV. And I still go back, and I still like what I've done recently is I've noticed usually to get a college scholarship you have to you're either a good athlete or you got good grades. So what I did, I established the Gary Owen Family Foundation. And what I did, I got with the high school principal and the guidance counselors of my old high school, and I said, give me a few kids that are at risk, that are lucky just to make it through high school, and I want to give them a scholarship. So what I did, I found a kid last year, and he's at Capital University right now. He's a freshman up in Columbus, and his story is unreal, how he was living in the woods at one point in a tent, and then he was living on his grandfather's trailer. He was sleeping on the floor. There wasn't a bed or anything. And in 7th grade, he went on the internet and researched mushrooms, because there was mushrooms growing in the woods behind the trailer, so he could eat them because he didn't have nothing to eat. So he researched what mushrooms were edible, and just that kid, he had a 2.6 GPA in high school and had an average ACT score. But the fact that he made it through high school, so I gave him a full ride to college because I was like, what could he do if he didn't have to worry about all the other stuff so he could flourish? So going back to my hometown like that, I make fun of him, but I try to give back as much as I can.
That's give him a round of applause for that. That's a really amazing thing that you did. I'm curious. Usually scholarship programs are not so personalized. Now that you're invested in this guy,
the kid,
do you call him every now and then? Make sure that your investment's working out.
I text him. Yeah, we text, and I said you got a new black stepmom, which is my wife. You know, and yeah, we keep track of him. He's trying to join a fraternity now, and he's really immersed himself in the college life, which is good. You know, and he just got there in the middle of August, so it's still early. But, you know, we put stipulations on it, like you got to be in a work-study program, and he's going to have to volunteer a certain amount of hours per month, just so because he's on a full ride. He doesn't have to worry about other things college students have to worry about. So you have to give back in some kind of way also.
That's so cool. Where did you get the idea to do that and to go with at-risk kids rather than sort of going with the standards or to give a scholarship to someone who has the best grades, or is it an athlete?
I took a look at my own life, and, you know, I grew up in a trailer park, and I had it wasn't the best home life. I had like an abusive stepdad. And so I was like, the only thing that got me through high school was my friends and some of the coaches and teachers that took an interest in me, that saw I was lagging behind, that saw something was going on, but I didn't open up back then. But it was just like, I can't be the only kid that felt that way growing up. And then it just hit me like, God, it was like a football coach pulled me aside one time, asked me if I was okay because I didn't show up for practice. And then a couple teachers and just the friends I gravitated to in high school, they helped me out. So I was like, God, if I didn't have them, I don't know where I'd be right now. So I just wanted to give back.
Did anyone have a sense then that you could be a comedian or a storyteller, that you were, a gift, had the gift of gab?
I mean, that's how a lot of comedians mask our pain, especially growing up. And for me, it was, I was in 6th grade. I remember the first day of school, my gym teacher, I was talking when he was talking, and he said, "What, do you want to be a comedian when you grow up?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, I said it with so much conviction, he had to back up. He goes, "Okay, well, not in my class." Because at first he's about to go in, and that was the first light that came on, like, because I was a class clown in high school. I was most obnoxious.
Good on that teacher also for backing down and not being like, you could never do that or not a lot, and being like, okay, he wants to do something. That's great,
yeah. He
know?
backed down. Mr. Edwards, I'll never forget it. He was my gym teacher.
That's such an interesting thing, because that's sort of what it's really hard for kids in high school, especially at-risk kids, is that no one individualizes them and finds the thing that they're good at and teases that out more and more and more, you know? And it's incredible. I just think it's so incredible that you're doing this.
Yeah, it's, it's just, I don't know. I'm in a position where I can do it, which is good. And it's kind of like with my special, my last 3 specials, I've done them myself. I've just did them, and then I try to sell them, and I've been lucky enough I sold them at Showtime, all 3 specials. But I remember when I first started, before I even started entertainment business, I saw an interview with Mario Van Peebles, of all people. And he said when he first got some money in his pocket, he noticed all his other friends were buying like cars and jewelry and stuff like that. He started spending his money on film and cameras, and then he started doing his own projects. And I was like, and that just resonated with me. So now that I have enough money that I can do my own projects, I was like, I just did it because, I'm in control as a stand-up. I just have to rent the venue out, make the stage right, and I got to trust the people I'm hiring, the camera crews and directors and stuff. But
do you work with like the same director and same crew that you have in the previous specials?
I have. Well, I see what works with other people. So I got Leslie Small, who directs all the Kevin Hart stuff. Oh, right on. And I got him, and I worked with him on a couple of the Shaq All-Star comedy jams. And then as far as everything else, it's pretty much, I trust Leslie and my manager and my agency to lead me in the right direction as far as everybody else.
How have you found that your stand-up has evolved over the course of your career and changed?
Well, I think that the good thing about stand-up is, like, if you look at athletes and stuff, they have such a short shelf life. Where comedians, the older you get, I think the better your stand-up should get. You got more life experience, and you can relate. But then it's funny, too, because now that I'm over 40, I see the young 20-year-olds and mid-20-year-olds, and sometimes they'll come and open up for me, and I'm so out of the loop. When they start talking about rappers and stuff, I'm like, wow, Fetty Wap? Okay.
I don't know Fetty Wap. I know the name, but I don't know.
Oh, no, he's a rapper. But luckily, my My daughter's a teenager, so she keeps me abreast too of dances and
cool
stuff
in
like
front
that.
of the comedians, then go home to your daughter and you're like, honey, what is Fetty Wap?
Right,
Like,
that's what I asked. You know, who's Fetty Wap? Who's Extasition?
have you found that your audience has gotten older as your material has gotten has changed? I mean, just in terms of what you talk about?
They kind of grow with you. Like when I first started doing stand-up, I did a lot of colleges. And I've noticed, I like it when people come to me and they're like, yo, you was at Syracuse, or you was at Boston College when I was there, and now they're grown adults. The worst, though, is somebody said, I've been watching you since I was like 7 years old. I'm like, really? Like, and now they got kids, and they're married like 7? I'm not that old. Come on.
How long have you been doing stand-up at this point?
20 years this year.
When did you start to see like a turn in your career while doing stand-up? How long had you been doing it?
Right in the beginning, a lot happened fast. Like I was doing stand-up less than a year, and I got BET's Comic View, I got the hosting job, and I got my first movie with Jamie Foxx called Held Up. And then it hit kind of a lull, and then I was working. I was getting small parts of movies and movies that weren't huge hits. And then literally 5-6 years ago, when Think Like a Man came out, that's when everything just kind of went. Phew. It was a big, I think everybody in that movie benefited from that movie a lot.
What does mean? What did
I
what
always
did that
related-
feel like?
I always relate it to like ticket sales. Like every movie and TV appearance I get, I always think, will this help ticket sales when I'm on the road? Because at the core, I'm a stand-up. Right. So when Think Like a Man came out, and then I had a few things come out after that, it's just like my ticket sale just went boom. There was a big bump because I was kind of like on a treadmill. I was kind of running in place. I was a headlining comic. I was doing okay on the road, but then it just went whoa. Ticket sales really went up.
This is kind of a weird question, but once something goes up like that and you start, you're not running in place anymore, you eventually are going to hit a place where at another level of success, you start running in place again. Where do you sort of figure out that that's enough and you're okay running in place here? Or do you feel like you have to continuously move forward?
I think you're always moving forward. I don't think you're ever satisfied. I think that you'll never reach where you want to be in your career. I think if you win an Oscar, you want to win another Oscar. If you sell 10,000 tickets, you want to sell 20. I don't think you ever peak. You really are in competition with yourself. And like this special, I've noticed seems, I can just go off social media. I think this one is resonating with people a lot more than the last two for whatever reason. Because once you film it, you put it to bed and the jokes are gone, then you're working on your new hour, and then it comes out and you're like, oh, I forgot. I know it sounds cocky, but you're like, God, that's really funny. Like from the first minute to the last minute, there wasn't a dead point in the special. So for some reason, this one seems to be resonating with people really well, and so now I'm already working on the new hour, So I'm at Caroline's this weekend. It's a whole new hour than what's on this.
Are you doing like an hour a year at this point?
I could do an hour a year, but sometimes it's not up to me. Sometimes like these specials, when you do them yourself, it takes a while because I'm in the editing bay with the director and I'm giving notes the whole time, and then we got to sell it. If you just do if Showtime or HBO or Netflix does your special, then they do everything. This one, you got to do all the groundwork, and then you got to sell it, and then you got to wait for them to give you a release date once they do buy it.
Why do you go about doing it that way?
I just want to stay. I want to stay relevant. I don't want to be like, this is Gary Owen from Think Like a Man that came out in 2012. I always want to have something out there. So if there's a point in my career where I feel like it's a little slow right now, I'll just be like, dude, we got to book a venue. I got to do a special. That's why I did the last 3. So I was like, let's just do it and we'll sell it. I want to get out there. I want to have something people talking about.
Things are a little slow. Like I'm gonna start creating material and I'm gonna get an hour ready for like in 7 months and we're gonna do a special. Or are you always crafting new material no matter what?
No, I'm always crafting. Like I'm ready now to shoot another special. If the phone call came right now, yeah, I'm ready right now.
When did you shoot this?
We shot that last January.
Okay, so it's been almost a year.
Yeah.
So you've been working on new material since then.
Yeah. So now I'm ready to go. Lots happened in a year. We got a new president. Lots happened. You know what I mean?
Don't tell me. I know. I know all about it. Are you writing material about it? I mean, your material's not necessarily political for the most part, but are you getting in there?
You got to touch on Trump though. I mean, you have to.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know if I can voice it on AOL.
You can say whatever you want.
No, I'm always with.
I say my thoughts all the time.
I don't know. I always thought like the funniest thing to me was, I don't know if I was the only one that did this, was when election night came and it was clear he was going to win and the results was coming in. I was like, was I the only person that kept changing channel, thinking stuff might change on a different network? I was like, NBC, let me go to CBS. They don't know what you're talking about. I knew Donald Trump officially won when I got to BET. When BET said he won, I said, oh, he really won. BET just said it. I said, but it was funny. BET never said Donald Trump's name. They said he won. That's all they said. Yeah, he won.
Good for them, man.
All right, that's actually from my act. Okay, I'm going to keep that. Thank you, guys.
Was that actually from your act?
It is now.
Yeah. He just tested material on us.
Right.
Thanks, Gary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get some questions from the audience. Who has a question out here? Right here.
Hi, thank you for being here. So obviously you've had, a long career like you mentioned before. Do you enjoy performing in these like kind of larger spaces, maybe like you are now at the specials, or maybe back in the day when you had smaller crowds?
You always like the comedy clubs. To me, is like to relate to sports. Like comedy clubs, that's practice. That's where you're getting ready. And then when you do the big theaters and the big tours, and that's game day. That's when you get ready. But the comedy club is where you get your material tight. And I think a lot of the audience, they like that feeling. Like if you saw this special, and then let's say you saw me in Portland at a comedy club, you're like, oh, I remember when he was working on that joke, and look how it's changed now that it's on TV like that. But I like everything. I think it all feeds into each other. I think the comedy clubs feed into the theaters, and then the theaters feed into a tour. It just all feeds. I like it all. I don't think I'll ever stop. I just wanna go to I'm like 90 and then just maybe just croak on stage, just fall out.
Fall down. Yeah.
That's how I want to go out.
Next question.
Hey, Gary. So I was wondering what your writing process is like. Do you sit down and then like try to come up with the material, or does it just come up on the fly, like in certain situations?
I feel like we just saw it.
Yeah.
Like you just did it a minute ago.
You might think I'm lying, but I've never written a joke down in my life. I've never wrote a joke on a piece of paper. It's just all up here, and I'm on the road so much that I tell the jokes probably, like this weekend I got 6 shows at Caroline's. So I got 6 hours this weekend to work on and hone stuff. But I've never written a joke down. And it's so weird when I do, like, if I get asked to do the late show, one of the late night talk shows or something like that, sometimes I'll ask you to submit your material, and I'm like, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about yet, because I'm booked like 2 months in advance. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And it's so weird I have to write it out, what I'm going to talk about on the Tonight Show or whatever.
Do you tape yourself when you perform and go back and
Nope.
watch it? Really? So you're
Nope.
not like calibrating when the laugh
Nope.
was and how to really?
Nope.
So it's all get on stage and this, like you're responding to this crowd in the moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hate watching myself, actually. I hate it.
Me. No. I mean, I hate watching myself.
Yeah, stand up, because I'm like, I'm such a bad critic of myself. And I honestly, I don't go to comedy clubs anymore, and I don't watch stand up because I notice a lot of comics, though, they're not taking other comics' jokes, but they might take mannerisms, and they start moving on the stage like a comic. And I get it, because I probably did that when I first started doing stand up. But now I'm to a point where I'm like, I just don't want to watch anybody. I want to make sure all my material's mine, and everything that I do on stage is coming from a pure place. It's mine. So I stopped watching. I just stopped watching stand up.
Really? Mm-hmm. Even the greats? Like you don't have like if Seinfeld or someone puts out a Netflix special, you don't jump on it?
Not gonna watch. I don't want to.
Miss it?
No, I don't. I do it so much. I'm in it. I remember talking to Bo Jackson one time, and he said he doesn't watch football anymore. He goes, I did it. He goes, now, on Sundays I'm out. He's hunting or doing other stuff. I go, and I was like, how can you not watch football? I watch football every Sunday. But then I relate. I go, oh, that's like me with stand up. I don't want to. I want to make sure all my stuff is mine. I want everybody to say, well, Gary, he looks like him, or he's acting like him, or that joke, somebody else told that joke. That'd be the biggest sign of disrespect for me. Like, no, it's my joke.
Have you ever had that happen?
Well, I think you get enough respect in the comedy community. It was one night, me and D.L. Hughley did the exact same joke. And he didn't steal from me, I didn't steal from him, but it was a current event. And it was, it was verbatim, though. And we went out to dinner after the show, and I said, hey, did you notice, like, the crowd went dead for a second? And he was like, yeah. I go, somebody told me you did this joke. And I told him my joke. He goes, oh, my God, my joke's the exact same joke. And it was just a quick minute joke, but it was current events. It was right when LeBron left Cleveland to go to Miami. We were both talking about it. Like, of course you're going to go to Miami from Cleveland, So I did a joke, but I don't want to get anybody mad and say the joke, the punchline. But
I think we have time for one more question right here.
Hi, I was just curious, is there a venue you always want to go back to, or a place that you want to go to that you haven't been to yet?
That I haven't performed in?
Yeah.
Right here, Madison Square Garden that'd be the top notch. I think once you do that, that's like, for a comedian, I think that'd be the one. to sell that out by yourself, a big arena like that.
Like 17,000, 18,000 tickets.
Yeah. I'm cool if they pay per half the room. Yeah. We sold 9,000 and gave away 8. That's cool.
So Madison Square is the spot?
That would, yeah, probably. Yeah, that would be the one.
Gary, I love your work. You're at Caroline's for 6 hours this weekend, as you said, starting when? Friday or Saturday?
Thursday, one show Thursday,
Tonight.
2 Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday.
So tonight and through Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I Got My Associates is on Showtime.
On demand.
On demand
right
on
now.
Showtime, right?
Yep.
Anything else that we can tell people to look out for?
Nah, that's enough for right now. Yeah, because you know what it is? I hate to talk about things and I don't have a release date or anything, because first movie I ever did was called Held Up with Jamie Foxx, and we filmed it the summer of '98. It didn't come out to the summer of 2000, and I literally was on the road, and like you'd be doing this interview. Yeah, this is the movie with Jamie. It's coming out. Come back a year later. What happened to the movie? Got released in Germany.
Got held up.
So, yeah, I got held up. So I was like, till I get a release date on things, I'm just like, this is it right now.
Well, it's fantastic, Gary. Congratulations. Gary Owen, everybody. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.